Hello out there in LDA land. This is your favorite friend, Asian K here, sitting and listening to all that's happening in the cruise world. Could we talk for a moment? Please, let's talk. Okay, so I know I must be harping on this a lot, but there are certain things that I need to talk about, and you guys are the best listeners I have right now. So, the Sea Dream won from the Sea Dream Yacht Club. The world wants to know. The world is talking about this. So let's talk about it, okay? So, this is a luxury yacht. So let's get that straight. It's a luxury yacht that only allows for passengers up to 116 people, and it's so luxury that there is one crew member for each guest. How do I know? Because I've been watching Cruising with Ben and David, and they got me hooked on trying to go on this ship one day. But recently they had an outbreak of COVID-19 where 7 people were tested positive. So let's rewind this for a little bit, okay? So I'm going to take off my glasses because we're about to get serious here. Okay. So what makes this different from a cruise ship? So let's break that down. On a cruise ship, the way it's structured is you all get on at the home port, go to different destinations along the way, and then either return to to your original starting point, or have a one-way where you end at another port. So, like for instance, there are some cruises with Princess to go to Hawaii. You start in Vancouver and you end in Honolulu. So those are the type of cruises those are. So the cruise that Ben and David was on started in the UK. They got on the second stop. So there was one stop before them. They got on at Rotterdam, if I'm correct. And then they stopped at various different ports. Now, before they went on the ship, and they said that the trip actually was sponsored by Sea Dream, which is even worse. And there were other bloggers and everything on that ship. I'm a little crooked. That's better. On that ship as well. So, all this is being documented. Ben and David got on the ship because they agreed to do like commercials or like a PSA about Sea Dream. They also participated on Sea Dream's YouTube channel, where they did an interview with like some bigwig from Sea Dream. They picked up passengers in Barbados. This is how this is different from a cruise, and I want everybody to understand this. With Sea Dream, they pick up passengers along the way. With a cruise, you don't pick up any passengers. It has to be extreme circumstances for you to be picked up a passenger. So, I mean, the only extreme thing I can think of is if somebody missed their previous cruise, and they get on the next one that comes on, but that's extreme. Or if they're picking up relief workers. That's a great one. Relief workers from working on something, and the only way they can get to the next destination is if they get on a ship. And there's no other ship around, and there's only a cruise ship with paying passengers. Ben and David broke it down very elegantly, and I'm not going to be as elegant as them, but I will try. They did a COVID test before they got to the port. They did another COVID test when it got to the port. They were being randomly temperature taken. Well, it's not random. Every morning they had to get their temperature taken. When the COVID outbreak happened, after they picked up a group from Barbados, and I must say, 6 out of the 7 cases came from the passengers they picked up in Barbados. There was another case where we don't know where they came from. They could have been from the same group in Barbados. And those 6 passengers were all in one reservation, so to speak. They were all traveling together. They all knew each other. So they took the test. Somebody out that group felt sick. They took a test again, and they got positive. Day later, 5 more people from that same party got positive. And then the 7th person, like I said, we don't know when they got on. Ben and David, and I highly, highly advise you to watch their YouTube channel, because they tell it like it is first person account. And I heard the Points guy, which I'm not too familiar with him, was also on there, and he was blogging on his blog about the whole thing. Before they got off the ship, I think they had an additional 6 or 7 tests by the Barbados government, as well as the ship doctor. So I'm saying this to say, everybody who was involved in the testing and all that stuff, they did what they were supposed to do. They followed their protocols to a T. Now, the rest of us in the rest of the world who have not been on that cruise and is wondering about United States cruising again, be very, very mindful that the CDC is going to put us on strict regulations. And those regulations will be much different than what the Sea Dream had. The Sea Dream that ship was going to be based out of Barbados. They do not follow the CDC because literally their passenger load is less than 250 people. That is the difference. Now, with conditional sailing, that means no paying passengers are going to be on those ships. They're going to be volunteers from the general public as well as from the cruise line, who is going to be running through scenarios as they go along. Now, there might be ships that don't go out at all. There might be ships that are going to be quarantined or have an outbreak come out, and then they're going to do the procedure. So for the general public, yes, you get a quote unquote free cruise, but you got to follow the rules of engagement, so to speak, to be a part of that. So you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. You're not going to be able to go on excursions like to foreign lands. I mean, the only places these people are going is to their own private islands. A lot of people are saying the Sea Dream is going to be putting us back at least to the summer of this next year. Part of me agrees with that, and I'm going to tell you why. We have not heard one iota of a cruise line ready to actually go out and do what they have to do with this conditional sailing. So it is, as of the recording of this, November 15th, I believe. Yeah, November 15th, 2020. They already canceled December cruises. If they haven't gotten their parties together yet for this conditional sailing, then we're looking at mid-December, maybe mid-January, like I said in my previous video, that they're actually going to be doing their conditional sailing. So then they got to get approved by the CDC. So this is something that might not take place until March or April. How does that affect my cruises? I have a cruise with the Blue and White Reunion at the end of January, and right after I get off of that, I'm going to be on February 1st on a second cruise. And they're both, well, the Blue and White cruise is supposed to go straight to Nassau. I don't foresee that happening if we go on board on the 27th. I see us probably going to Carnival's private island, which I do believe is in the Bahamas. And I've never been there, so that's going to be very interesting. And as for the second cruise with Royal Caribbean, one stop is to their private island, the other one's to Nassau. So I don't foresee us going to Nassau. I foresee us probably being 2 days at their private island, which is Perfect Day at Coco Cay. So I foresee that. I don't see any stops in Nassau, Bahamas. And if it is, it's going to be a bubble. Meaning, nobody's going to be off the ship unless you bought an excursion through the cruise line. Now, for my second cruise, I bought 2 excursions as a precaution to get off the ship. But I have a feeling that it's just going to be Perfect Day at Coco Cay. And one of those excursions are going to be refunded back to me. How I'm feeling about Sea Dream is I'm not mad. Somebody had to go out there and cruise. Somebody had to put some protocols together. Somebody had to do it. It just happened to be a luxury cruise line. They did not wear masks. Ben and David spoke about this before they even got on the ship. They said that the Sea Dream felt very comfortable and very competent in their testing protocols, that they didn't need masks. And from what I'm hearing from another YouTuber is that only one of the bloggers, which was the Points Guide who took pictures, was the only one wearing a mask. But we don't know because those were in the pictures. My situation would be, if I was on that beautiful ship, yeah, I might get some flack, but come on, we're in a pandemic. Since this came out, now on CNN, MSNBC, everybody is talking about the efficiency of these tests. Erykah Badu came out on IG talking about she got tested 4 times for COVID. One nostril tested twice positive, the other nostril tested twice for negative. I'm not meaning to laugh, but that was very interesting to me. And then there was and it was asked on MSNBC, and the doctor said that is 100% possible because the COVID test is a snapshot in a point of time. So it's possible to have one nostril test one way and the other nostril test the other way. Also, the efficiency of these tests are becoming in question because now they're talking about that passenger, the original passenger from Sea Dream, could have had a false negative. So this goes back in March when a lot of people were saying they're not taking the test because the test has not proven to be efficient. And it came about too quickly. But we needed a test. So now, in my mind, this brings up the lovely vaccine that is supposed to be coming our way by summertime, the earliest, that has been rapidly pushed through, and how efficient that's going to be. I am considered what is a high risk person for COVID. Hence why I stay indoors all the time. The only time I go out is if I have to go shopping or I have to go to work. I try to have everything in here. And to tell you the truth, you get tired of the four walls. But I am not going to be able to get that vaccine possibly until my birthday in July. Because they're going to immunize the elderly, and this is not by numbers, elderly, the military, police, fire department. I am not, even though they call me an essential worker, I'm not the essential worker. Because I don't get none of those perks that the doctors, the nurses, and everybody else get. They just gave me a fancy title to make me work through the pandemic. So it's going to be one of those situations where we're going to have to figure out what's going to happen. I don't foresee myself getting that. Like I said, I do not foresee myself getting that vaccine if I take the vaccine, because it's still up in the air, until July, latest October, maybe November. And also, to throw it out there, I'm not the only one who has questions about this vaccine. We're looking at my governor, and yes, I love my Governor Cuomo, who's sitting down there saying he got a blue star panel, or blue flag panel, or whatever flag panel. He has a panel put together to test the vaccine before anybody in New York State gets it. I love him for that, because I don't want to get sick. I take chances, but I don't want to get sick. So there is a lot of questions, and there's more questions than answers. So we are in for a long haul. I didn't want to talk this long, but I had to get this off my chest about the Sea Dream and how it may or may not, stop American cruising. My thing is, we can't even say that because none of the big three cruise lines have even done any protocols to test them out. Nobody in CLIA has done anything to test them out. And mind you, Sea Dream Yacht Club is not part of CLIA. Let's put that out there. They are, because they have less than 250 passengers on a ship, and they only got 2 ships, Sea Dream 1 and Sea Dream 2. That's it. So I'm going to end this video here. I'll update you if I hear anything else. As of today at 2 o'clock, I believe New York time, Ben and David are back home. They're in quarantine, and they will be telling us their experiences and reactions in a live video on YouTube. So if you want to check it out, they're called Cruise with Ben and David. I love those little British guys. They're awesome. They're cool dudes. You should check them out. So if you made it to the end of this video, I am Agent K of LDA. Ooh, that rhymes. I like that. And I'm asking you to mask up, wait 6 feet, and get tested, which I need to do next. Thank you. If you like, please subscribe and hit the like button. Bye-bye.